Yeah, you live and die by the swords you choose to take. That's a pretty simple thing. I'm sure for the first few overs when you're taking them on and suddenly that total goes from 150 to 120, a bit of momentum changes and you think, but I say it's a very high risk strategy to play. And obviously that's the route. Obviously Stokes and Matty took. I think Ruti is obviously trying to do what he did for the other innings, was just tap in his head and knock it for one. So it is a high risk strategy, and it didn't come off. I think you always have thoughts when things are tough, but I'm just as determined to as I was at the beginning of this game. Five days. Obviously it's a long time in sport, but I'm still here, and I still want to give, as I said at the beginning of the week, to throw it all in to be captain of England, and I've still got that determination to do that. A loss, a tough loss in good conditions for us does keep making it harder. Not scoring the runs is getting tougher and tougher. I think the moment I start scoring runs and the results change, then I think the circle will change. But until that moment comes, it's tough. It's hard. It's hard when you lose. There's absolutely no mistake about that. It's a tough job when you lose games of cricket, and it's even tough when you're not scoring runs. I'm not going to hide. Say I'm waking up every morning. The best I've ever felt in my cricketing career. It's a precise moment in time. But if and when we turn this around and we get 11 people playing close to their potential and we win a game of cricket, and it changes, that moment of going through the tough times will make it feel a lot better. But we have to do that. We can't keep saying when it'll turn. We keep giving ourselves opportunities in games and we're not taking them. So we need to knock down that door. I don't quite know why we're not taking those chances at the moment. Until we find that answer, we won't win games. Well, I kind of said until my position becomes untenable, is what I probably meant to say. If I'm not scoring runs by the end of the series, we're losing more games, then it becomes tougher and tougher, doesn't it? I'm clearly maybe not the man to turn it around. But I've been speaking to Morsey over the last couple of days, even in tough times, and he still seems that me and him still think we can turn this around. I think everyone has doubts. I mean, it'd be only natural when you're on your own or away from it. When things aren't going well, of course you have doubts about it. But it makes me more determined in one way when I wake up, and it makes me more determined that I'd just love to win this series. How much satisfaction that would be from the dark times. I haven't had any tougher times in my career than we're at the moment. But I don't think walking away from it would be the way to go. I think a captain is only as good as the players you play a lot of the time. I think you can see that from Michael Clarke as well. But as you have times where you always think you do different things after in hindsight and stuff like that. But I know when we've won games of cricket, I've captained well, and in certain times I've captained well. But in Trent Bridge, I felt I captained pretty well. Here it was quite a simple game plan, and I don't think it was my captaincy the reason we lost this game. Well, the young guys have been, have turned up and played to their potential. The other guy, I think Jimmy is probably, obviously as man of the series in that other series, Sri Lanka, man of the match at Trent Bridge as well. But myself, Ian Bell, Stuart Broad and Matt, we haven't played as well as we can play. And past records, of course, suggest that the records actually all four of those guys have got, or three as well, are fantastic records, and we should be very proud of. They can be very proud of that record. But again, it's nothing. Test cricket is a really tough environment to survive in and play. The game unfortunately owes you nothing just because you've done it in the past, and you have to keep performing for England. That's what playing Test cricket is about, and that's why having a long career is incredibly rewarding, but incredibly tough as well, because you have to keep performing. And the selectors have always got to think, what are they putting the best side out in the park? I wouldn't say he's particularly long term. If you're talking 4 or 5 years, I mean I think that's normally considered long term. I don't think he's that. Look, Maddie's, a fantastic wicketkeeper. I think there's chances at Lords. There was probably the one at Trent Bridge he thought he should have taken, and he ought to hold his hands up and he should have taken it.